Okay, baroko. And then Romanticism, the painting, Spolarium is an example of Romanticism because ano man siya, it's a product of Juan Luna's imagination. Okay? He made this in 1884 when he was in Spain, no, as a student. He participated in a competition and he won. Okay? And ano man siya, it talks about gladiatorial fights during the Middle Ages. And then kani ba 1884, wala na ba yung gladiatorial fights? So it's like an imagination of Juan Luna. And the setting is not in the Philippines, but in a Colosseum, okay, where gladiatorial fights took place. And when you talk about Spolarium, it's a dungeon, it's like a chamber within the Colosseum where the dead bodies of the dead gladiators and even beasts would be dumped. You just imagine how filthy it is. Bahok kayo kay patay lawas na diha, patay ng mga animals na diha, gidump. Okay? So, they are there to rot. So, imagine na, no? Patay lawas na diha. So, bahok kayo na. Okay? So, when we talk about Romanticism, it's highly representational or symbolic. Okay? So, there is no Filipino character here, but the dead gladiators represent the early Filipinos. And at this time, we were not yet called Filipinos, but we were called Indios. We were called Indios. Okay? Now, the head of the dead gladiator is very small. It's not proportionate to his body. The body is big. Okay? Ako ang lawas, pero nang gamay ang ulo. O sige, be, worth 2 points. Why do you think? What is represented by this? Nano ka? That the dead gladiator has a small head. Okay, daw be? What's the explanation? Sige, 2 points. So this dead gladiator represents the Indio. So why is the Indio portrayed to be having a small head? Anybody? 2 points. Consider the citation, ha? Quiz ni siya. Quiz. Ano na yung question mark? Okay. Yeah, we already have a correct answer, ha? Sige. To represent a lack of knowledge and education, Indians are seen as uneducated. This simply depicts the discrimination of Filipino social ranking. In what manner? Is simply through education as Filipinos during Spanish colonization are deprived of this basic human capital due to the fact that Filipinos are perceived to be incapable of learning. In other words, the body is larger than the head because Indians are described as uneducated and they're only better at physical labors, more likely as slaves. Okay, sige. I can give 1 point to Beyonce. Ano na question mark mga Beyonce? So make it definite, ha? Sige. Yeah, I can consider 1 point. Indios are seen as uneducated. Okay, Libago, I can give you 2 points. And Wedmark, I can give you 2 points. Okay, sige. So yeah, correct. Huh? So what is represented by the head? Our head represents or symbolizes our knowledge, diba? Our wisdom, our education. So yeah, Filipinos or Indios at that time were perceived to be uneducated and your body is just good for labor. So karon pa blue collar job lang. Ba? So there was discrimination for the Indios at that time. So if Jose Rizal fought with the pen, si Luna fought with the paintings, na? So that Filipinos would be aware of the injustices done to us by the Spaniards. It's like wake up call, okay? So because of the injustice, all right. So injustices, no, kuan ka na passed to us by the Spaniards. Mangmang, walang pinag-aralan, hampas lupa, all those adjectives. Okay. So the question now is, I will not ask this as a question. But if we are going to reflect about it today, no, there are like, there are no foreign invaders. No? Ibutang tanga, wala gini foreign invader na yan sa ato ano, colonized us. Kaya we have already received our independence, di ba? June 12, no? June 12, we celebrate our Independence Day. Pero in what way today, no, if we are going to reflect na we are still somewhat like, ano ba, maltreated. Ano din na, no? We talk about the issue with China, no? West Philippine Sea. Ano atong mga old fishermen, no, would not be allowed to fish. That's an issue. No? So we have to be aware of all these things. Okay? And businesses, no, before, kanang negosyo ko silver. So, there's a store in Gogh Market, wholesaler na siya, sa silver. Of course, I would be asking for an official receipt. Ano ba yung negosyo, di ba? Once you put up a store, you must have an official receipt. So, the sales lady was a Filipina, and then the owner, I think Taiwanese na siguro. So, I asked the girl, ang may kong resibo day ha? Ma'am, resibo ma'am. Kanina papel. Madili ko. Negosyo din ang inyo ha. Kanina kong resibo, official receipt. No? And so what the girl said, Ma'am, hadlok na po, ma'am. Hadlok na siyang amo, ang Taiwanese. So I said nga, hadlok mo ka, Pilipino ka, naata sa Pilipinas. Naata sa Pilipinas. Yung amo mo na ang foreigner. Why are you afraid? O, diba? Diba? No, so, for me, that's a form of injustice na you're supposed to be free. We are supposed to be unafraid of that foreigner. Na, hadlok man ka. No? Nana, no? Na wala na gid tayo foreign invaders gid nga literal, no? Pero in that way, no? Or at other forms, no? Kasi may lain form of injustice. Before, I visited a friend who gave birth, no? In NMMC, Provincial Hospital man na sa una, no? And, I was surprised, ha? Nga, she just gave birth, cesarean pa yun. She shared the bed with another woman who also gave birth. Well, di siya, di na cesarean ka. You cannot move your body easily. Plus the baby, dito pa i-share nila sa the same bed, and the bed is small. Diba? For me, that is a form of injustice. We are paying our taxes. You in the future, when you will be working, automatic, the tax will be deducted from your salary. So you are a taxpayer. So our taxes are supposed to go to these services. Local hospitals, mga barangay, health centers, improvement of roads and bridges, diha paingon ng atong kwarta, diha paingon ng atong taxes. So, our government officials should use them wisely. Isa man na, ha? Diba, I'm a taxpayer, so why is it that I am receiving this kind of services? Kana, for me, that is a form of injustice, ha? So, it's really a wake-up call, no? So, although this painting was done long time ago, but it still talks about justice. No? That Filipinos are seeking for justice. Okay, let's move on now. This might be our longest class. Sige lang, I'm hungry, pero sige lang. Padayon natin may it's our last class, and I want you to get perfect in the quiz, huh? Okay, so that's polarium, okay? And it is said that there's a woman at the corner weeping. We don't see her face, no? She's weeping, and they say that she represents Inang Bayan, or the Philippines, crying that that's what's going on to the country. Okay, on page 114, we have here Impressionism. Impressionism, when you look at the painting up close, they just look like dots. Dots lang. Pero when you are afar, you will see the image being formed. Ano ba yung image? Umbrella, mali. There's a woman holding the umbrella. But when you are very close to the painting, they are just like dots, no? Or whatever dabs of paints. No? One Impressionism. Okay? And the lighting plays a part. Okay? Meaning plays a huge part in the work. So page 115, you have here La Grande Jatte, no? By George Seurat. Ano yung mga French painters, when their family names end with T, you don't pronounce it. Monet, ano siya? Seurat, okay, you don't pronounce the T. So Edward Manet, Claude Monet, George Seurat, okay? So can you see George Seurat? Grabe ni, pointillism. Imagine your pen, ha? You have brush. Points na siya, di ka ng points, 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 until you form an image. It's pointillism. You try to search that. Okay? Thousands, thousands of points in this painting. Lagrange. Okay. Okay, we go now to Expressionism 120, page 120. So an artist expresses himself, no? From the word expressionism. Okay, so bold brushstrokes, heavy, bold brushstrokes. So we have Starry Night by Van Gogh. Okay, sige. The first question: how many stars are there in Starry Night painting? How many stars are there? 11, correct. Miss Dabatian, correct. The first one to type. Kato ganiha, I'm considering other answers kay kuan man gud siya kana subjective man gud, no? That's why I'm considering other answers. Pero kani definitely 11, okay. One winner, Miss Dabatian. Yeah, 11 stars. And in their interpretation, Van Gogh was like similar to Joseph the Dreamer from the Bible. Okay? So, si Joseph from the Bible. Hindi na lang, I might be biased kaya some of you might not be Catholics. He was the son of Jacob, and he was the favorite. Okay? And Jacob gave him the colorful robe. Okay? Beautiful robe. So his brothers envied him. He was sold to slavery in Egypt. And we know the story, no? He became governor in Egypt because he was promoted. Okay? He knew how to interpret dreams. And then the Pharaoh was pleased with him, so he took an position. And there was famine in Israel, so his brothers went to Egypt. And you see, Joseph, he knew that those are his brothers, but he did not reveal first his identity to them. So the critics would say that Vincent van Gogh is like similar to Joseph the Dreamer, Joseph from the Bible, because katulad si Joseph was disliked by his brothers. Van Gogh was also somewhat disliked by his siblings. Only one brother understood him, that was Theo. And similar to Joseph, only one brother understood him, that was Benjamin. Okay, so during the lifetime of Van Gogh, he only sold one painting. Isa ra yung nabaligya. And that's so frustrating as an artist. Like, it's like nobody is appreciating me. No? So this is the question. What is the painting of Van Gogh that was sold during his lifetime? Complete title. Complete title. The title of the painting of Van Gogh that was sold. The only one that was sold. Complete title. Make it complete. At, asa dapat? At, nana siya, sumpay. Okay. The Red Vineyard at Arles. Okay. Villalberto got it right. Okay. 1 point. So that's the only one that was sold during his lifetime. So it's so frustrating as an artist, diba? You feel unappreciated. Okay? So in the painting, it's somewhat gloomy because there is an image here that seems to connect the earth to the sky. What is that image? That's the next question. What is that image that connects the earth to the sky in the painting? in the painting Starry Night by Van Gogh? Okay, correct. We got the correct answer from Ms. Dabatian. Cypress tree. Okay, cypress. It's a cypress tree. Okay? Itong dito diri at the side, no? And cypress trees actually symbolize mourning. Nawa ka ng kaguol, sorrow, because they usually grow in cemeteries. Cemetery, graveyard. No? So, it's expressionism. It's like Van Gogh is expressing himself, no? There's turbulence, no? If you look at the sky, it's not a peaceful sky, diba? When the sky at night is filled with stars, it's not like this, right? But here we have swirling, swirling. And we know that in lines, diba? When we talk about lines, na mga swirling, swirling gani, it's like chaos, no? It can reflect what's in the mind of the artist. No, kagubot na, diba, Van Gogh was anxious. He was diagnosed as schizophrenic. No? Diagnosed siya na nga siya disorder. Okay, and he shot himself, but he did not die immediately. I think he died 2 days after. So he was in an asylum, mental hospital, no? And he made this painting. Okay, and many years after, no, the songwriter Don McLean wrote the song Vincent. Okay, so in honor of Vincent Van Gogh. Okay, so if we go back to the painting, no, so swirling clouds, swirling, and it's like an ocean. It's like you have waves of the ocean, and then the moon looks like the sun, no? And the stars are like balls of fire, and you have a sleepy town below. Okay. Then if we analyze the song, no? So Starry Starry Night, that is an allusion to the painting Starry Night, no? But the entire song does not only talk about the Starry Night painting, but also other paintings of Van Gogh. Okay, so one important line here is the third stanza. Take a look at page 121. Huh? Now I understand what you tried to say to me. So it's like the person of the song talking to Van Gogh. Now I understand what you are trying to tell me. Okay? Now I understand what you tried to say to me and how you suffered for your sanity and how you tried to set them free. Take a look at the third line. How you suffered for your sanity. Okay, worth 2 points, explain. How you suffered for your sanity. Explain. 2 points. Kapot kita galas dos anila. I hope you have eaten. Ako nagkaon. Ilahapin naman ta. O, sige. Who can explain how you suffered for your sanity? Take a look at the words, huh? The line did not say how you suffered from sanity. It's a totally different thing. It's saying how you suffered for your sanity. For. How you suffered for your sanity. So what does it mean? More answers? Refers to schizophrenic disorder. Okay. None of the answers. Strive to be normal. Okay. Oh, we have an answer already. Okay. Oh, sige, I can still consider Ren Libago's answer. Okay, Taliedo. Okay, sige na, okay na. No? Okay na. Strive to be normal. Ha? Remember the line, ha? How you suffered for, how you suffered from. Ha? It's a totally different thing. Okay? So, wait na. Buela got 2 points, okay? Strive to be normal. Libago, suffered for means you work and toil in order to regain your sanity. Okay, I can accept that. Okay, another 2 points. How Vincent suffered to maintain his sanity by expressing them through his artwork. Italiano, I can accept this one. Another 2 points. Okay. Sige, tapos sila, no? So, he tried his best to be normal as much as possible. But society kept on labeling him na, oh, siya, schizophrenic. Okay? So, striving to be normal as much as possible. Okay? Because at one point in his life, he gave something to a prostitute, which is from his body. What is that something that he gave to the prostitute? He cut a portion of his body and gave it to the prostitute. A portion, ear. Okay, chua. Taliedo got it correctly first, no? Ear, isa lang man, no? Yeah, he cut his ear and gave it to a prostitute. So, yeah, after that, people would say, oh, so you know? Why would you cut your ear? Okay, so Taliedo got it correctly. Okay. Yeah, he cut his ear. All right, sige. So, throughout the poem, he was talking about Don McLean is talking about the other paintings of Vincent van Gogh. Okay, now there is one stanza here, like the strangers that have met, the rugged men in rugged clothes. Okay, I will not ask it anymore because there are valid answers, but they say it refers to his painting titled The Potato Eaters. Okay? And poor people eating potatoes, di ba ang potato is from the ground, and after you harvest it, of course your hands are dirty because of the soil. And they're eating that, no? Rugged men in rugged clothes. Okay. So that's no? And you know the relevance of this painting to us now, no? That kanabitang you strive so hard to be accepted by society, to be liked by society, to be appreciated as an artist or as a person. And we just feel na nobody appreciates us. No? So try to think about that. No? At what point in your life have you felt that you are unappreciated? Yeah, sige ko na, no? You are not appreciated. You try so hard to do things na inami mo achievements, pero people will not even say thank you. No? So that can be our realization here, no? In the song and in the painting. No? People will be depressed when wala appreciation. In today's society, with social media, wala nag-like sa akong video, wala nag-like sa akong photo. Sakita na din ka, depressed na din ka. Yeah? Those are anxieties that we have in the 21st century. Okay, the scream, similar, no? Similar theme. No? Anxiety of modern man. So depression po na. The image here is screaming, and the contrast is the bridge. Take a look at the bridge, no? Or the railing, straight tayo. No? Straight tayo, and the men at the back, straight lines, no? Here's the only one, wavy lines, okay? So signaling that he's the only one feeling that, okay? So that's why he's screaming. So in life, we also do a silent scream, diba? The painting is silent. The painting cannot talk, but it's only an image of a person shouting or screaming. So at what point in our lives have we also done that? We scream silently. So your parent perhaps has been displaced because of this pandemic, wala trabaho. So your parent is depressed na, what food will I bring to the table? Pagka na furlough, businesses, wala na, down, wala mag-patronize, wala mamalit. Like when the pandemic started, who will buy clothes? When people just stay at home, who will buy bags? Who will buy shoes? Mga luxury items. Who will buy makeup? Who will buy lipstick? Na, lipstick. You will wear your mask. No? Those things. So, siguro daghan na depressed, mga parents, no, head of the family, silent screen ba? Usa man ni? Usa man ni? So, makulat yung ayuda. And then, how long will the ayuda last? Yeah? Ika na siya. That's very relevant today, ha? Okay. Kita. Okay. So, we have here, page 134, Girl at Mirror. Huh? So, made by Norman Rockwell. So, Norman Rockwell was a painter, no? So, in magazines, no? Illustrator. Okay? So, he had a number of illustrations, and they're very beautiful, usually American life. No? So, here, about anxiety of a girl entering puberty. No? Now, she's unsure, she's unsure, should I remain as a girl or should I now transition myself into a woman? She sees a woman in the magazine. Okay, so the identity of the woman in the magazine, that's not so important, huh? The main point here is that actually kuan ba, huna siya nga contemplating on what will I do, and that is represented by the discarded doll. No? So the doll here represents her childhood na. Yeah, she played with the doll. So wala discard na, baliwala na ang doll. No? Okay? So she looks innocent, but then, umara po siya ganang, should I transition myself now into a woman? Okay, or a lady? And mula gina, no? I've made a video on this, but my video is titled Menstruation. I think all of you girls can relate to this. Or even guys, no? You don't want to leave your childhood. No? So abruptly, but stop na bitaw ka nga, you already have your menstruation. So wala na ka, di na ka pwede magula-gula. No? So in the future, you can share that to your children, no? Especially the girls na. A girl entering puberty, parang siya kanara, there is uncertainty. So mani, should I stop playing? I have menstruation already. Hinana, no? That's my video on menstruation. Okay, then ako short clips na dito. So it's similar to this one, huh? So it's really universal. Wherever you are, the girl enters puberty. And you have the poem Mirror by Sylvia Plath. So I asked the group to make connections here. So in the poem, Mirror by Sylvia Plath, this is the question. Who is speaking in the poem? Or who is the persona in the poem Mirror? Who is the persona or speaker in the poem Mirror? Page 134. Okay. It is the mirror. It's the mirror. I am silver and exact. So it is the mirror speaking. Okay. So the first one to type it is Miss Hemina. Okay, another point for Miss Hemina. It's the mirror who is speaking, huh? I am silver and exact. So the mirror is describing herself, no? Silver is the color, no? Exact, because if you face the mirror, that's what you see. That's what you get. Okay? So I swallow immediately. So what you give me, I swallow immediately. I accept that. Okay? I am not cruel, only truthful. Okay. So the mirror here is describing, no? Also the girl who is facing the mirror, huh? Okay. So in the line, so muna to mirror ang speaker, ha? In the line, now I am a lake, what figure of speech? Now I am a lake. What figure of speech? Now I am a lake. Oh, metaphor. Metaphor. It's metaphor. Okay? Well, for signification, if there is a thing given human attributes. Okay, pero I am a lake man. Lake is not a person, no? Now I am a lake. So the I here is the mirror. Okay, the mirror compares herself to a lake. So that is metaphor because you did not use the word like or as. So the first one to type metaphor is Miss Himina. Okay, Miss Himina, metaphor. Okay, 1 point. Okay. So now I am a lake. So more siya lake because the woman also sees herself, no? Sees her reflection in the lake. Okay? So the mirror is also here telling us about a girl who faces the mirror. And then as a mirror, she will just give back what she sees, no? Or what is reflected in her. Okay? And she's describing this woman, no? Now I am a lake, a woman bends over me. Okay? Searching my riches for what she really is. Okay? It's still talking about being a woman or being a girl, no? That you are conscious about your appearance, that when you are getting older, you realize that you have wrinkles, crow's feet, yan ang tawag na dyan, but crow, there's kilid, no? No? And one, if you are going to relate it to society now, no? There are so many anti-aging products, no? Being launched. No? A woman is bombarded with so many anti-aging products. You should use this, you should use that. But kung man ka nun, dapat youthful ka. Dapat batanon ka. May social issue, ano, no? Okay? So, um, yeah, it's telling us about a girl transitioned into a woman looking into the mirror. Okay? And towards the end of the poem, no? In me, just drowned a young girl, and in me, an old woman. So from a young girl transitioned into an old woman. But of course, prior to that, no, um, ano, the girl does not trust the mirror. Okay? At first, ha? She does not, at first, even up to the end, siguro, no? She does not trust the mirror. So, she turns to liars. Who are considered as liars? Give me two answers. Who are considered as liars in the poem? Who are considered as liars in the poem? Okay, the first one to answer. Dapat exact, ha? Oh, candles, plural. Ay, particular man yung spelling lagi, particular ko. Ay, mo sa itong rules, ha? Candles, like S, candles, and the moon. Oh, Miss Himina, Nicolette, sorry, Nicolette, candle, rin mo. Kaya, plural lang ko sa akong sa itong rules, ha? O, candles, plural. Okay. So, nakuha ni Miss Himina. Okay. Sige. Briefly explain them. Why are the candles and the moon considered liars? Sige. When girl will not trust the mirror, so she turns to the candles and the moon. But the mirror says, liars na sila. So why are the candles and the moon considered liars? Because the light, she looks so beautiful. Because in the lights, she looks beautiful. Okay. Mm. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, you can stop answering now, Nana. Okay. Oh, stop na, stop na, stop na, stop na. Okay. Sige. Let's take a look, ha? Okay. So, wala na, ha? Last na si Cabaneros. Okay. Sige. Because in their lights, she looks so beautiful. Sige, I can consider that. I will explain later. Ha? Waga. Sige, 1 point waga. The candles and the moon both are sources of light that can cast a shadow of the woman. Di kayo clear, no? Ano, asa man diri ang pagkalayar, ha? Asa ang pagkalayar, Miss Villalberto? Dili kayo klaro, ha? Okay? Because the candles and the moon cannot reflect the truth. O, mani, himina, correct. Okay? Um, Chris, ang spelling sa false. They do not reflect a true image. Okay, Hamisulan name. Okay, correct. Because they create illusions. Okay, cabaneros, correct. Okay. Sige. Artificial naman good, no? I mean, partly, sige, I could consider na siguro they cast a shadow on the woman. Because siya nagtumpak ba. Anyway, you have candlelight dinners, di ba? Or you have the moon. Dili siya, what do you call this one? Full light. No? It's not full light. Okay? And because it's not full light, your true image is not really shown. Huh? So they cast a shadow. Sige, ako nang dawaton ko. Shadow na, gamay lang. Okay, sige, Villalberto, I can adjust this one. Okay. They cast a shadow. Or illusion lang ba nga, mura, guwapa. That's why you have the statement, guwapa, humit-ngit. Muna siya. No? So liars, according to the mirror, liars na, she turns to liars. The moon and the candles. Okay? So, ba? To get an assurance ba nga, gwapa ba din siya? No? Or, okay ba siya ang iyong itsura? So, she turns to candles and the moon, which are liars. Okay. Then, at the ending part of the poem, no? The woman rises like a terrible fish. In me, she has drowned a young girl, and in me, an old woman, rises toward her day after day like a terrible fish. Interpretations here can vary. Ano man compare siya to a terrible fish? But a terrible fish, a fish has scales, and when you get older, you have wrinkles, so it's similar to scales, no? Or fish is something that is filthy. It doesn't smell good, no? So as you get older, your smell also is different. Okay, that's their interpretations. Okay, so let's now go to. So anyway, this poem talks about anxiety of women, no? As they get older. You look at actresses, or models. When they get older, they don't have projects anymore. So who is preferred? The younger actresses, the younger models, huh? And that's what society is. We favor the young. Huh? That's why as you get older, ang anxiety niya, no? With midlife crisis, magawas na dahil siya. So to answer that, you buy the anti-aging products. So ang mga babae, palit ko dito, Olay, sa panagin, ha? Anti-aging. Okay? Sige. So last article here, no? Cubism. So you just read here what Cubism is all about, and then you have the painting Guernica by Pablo Picasso. Okay? So in what country can we find Guernica? Sige, type. What country can we find Guernica? Okay, Spain. Correct. Miss Libago got it right. Spain. Okay, 1 point. Alright, so during market day, people were caught off guard. Wala sila. Wala sila balo. So it was bombed and then many were killed. Okay? And Picasso was then commissioned by the Spanish government to make a painting of this to promote nationalism and patriotism. Okay? And you have the absence of color because, as they say, Picasso read it from a newspaper. So newspaper is like gray, black, and white. That's why he also reflected that in the painting. Those are the colors that you would see. Okay? And there's a moving image here of a woman. I placed that in page 140 of the textbook, a woman holding the dead body of her child. And that's so painful, no? Because it should be that it's the child who will bury the parent, not the other way around. It's not a mother burying the child. Dili man ang normal, di ba? Right. It should be like a child burying the parent. But here, what's so painful is that, no? And it doesn't only apply to mothers. It's also applying to fathers. Just like this powerful image which I included here, a father holding the dead body of his child, no, after syndrome. Right? It's very painful. Okay. So despite all these, no, mga negative images, according to critics, there is one image that signifies hope in the painting. What is that image that signifies hope? Or pagbabago or renewal or something new. Type. Type. What is that image that can signify hope in the painting? One image. Signifies hope. When we learned before, diba, the meanings of colors, although it can vary from one culture to the other, but sometimes it's also universal. Green signifies hope, right? Green, green. Because you have life, okay? So what image there can show life? This painting is very large, Baya. 11 feet, imagine na, 11 feet by 25 feet. It's not the bulb because the bulb here is like bombilya. It's like the bomb. In Spain or Spanish, bombilya, bulb, no? But it can represent the bomb that was dropped. So it cannot be for the hope. Fire. Lamp. The lamp here is like a torch where they were searching for the dead bodies. The fire is about the bombing man to. Everybody was consumed of fire because ng bomb. So it's death. Isa man ang hope diri. The light bulb. Wala ito light bulb. Pwede ko. The light bulb here. Bulb, Spanish is bombilya. Kaya Spain ba ni? And bombilya there, here is bomb that was dropped. So it cannot be. What image signifies hope? What image signifies hope? Hands of man. Okay, the flower. Correct, Mr. Waga. The flower. Ghostly ka man siya, wala siya ka ng, wala siya outline ra. Okay. Yeah, it's the flower. Oh. Signifying hope. No, tagada ka mag-clue ha. Diba? Meanings of color, green to signify hope. Oh. Ano naman, so we see that in plants. Anak ko ganyan na. O, diba? So, close to plants, flower. Ano, flower diha? Pagka ang flower diha sa painting. Okay? So, when we give our insights, when you have your reporting, when we give insights to this painting, it talks about, diba, bombing and killing people, war, because it's before World War II. So, nobody really wins in war. Although we say, we won in the war, but there are damages, diba? There are casualties in war, so nobody really technically wins a war. Okay? You lose something in war, no? So we don't have to go far. Okay? We have the Marawi siege, no? Kapag attack in Marawi, what happened? No? So, no? Beautiful lake dito, no? Ano na, di na, di na pa makabisip kaya wala lisod, no? Because of what happened, okay? And we also pray that nothing worse will happen with China and the Philippines because of that fishing area there, the Philippine Sea. Okay? So, kana gid na ang puon nato nga walay kagubot, walay war. Okay? So, yeah, that's the end. That's the end of our recap of art history.